They list is they list. I feel like when you have a list that has this many different people writing for it, I just feel like where is the individuality, bro? Like that's really it. You got too many different people, perspectives, and walks of life for these same picks to be in so many lists, like almost all the time. It just got to be something. You got to be putting me on. You got to be. You gotta be, or else the list is just, just becomes self-serving. We saw the top 10. Mad Villainy, obviously. Outkast, obviously. Hell Had No Fury. Lauryn Hill. This is the most unique pick out of everything, even though it's probably one of the weaker picks out of everything that Young Thug, Rich Homie Quan, Rich Gang in general have done. Nas Illmatic, the obligatory pick. Supreme Clientele. Juvenile is a great pick, though. This is probably the best pick out of everything because nobody like has this. And it's not to say like you need to put something that nobody has on your shit. It's just like introduce people to shit, like some cool shit. Like, okay, niggas won't really like, even though they fuck with Juvenile, like, do they really hear the music for real? Like, all right, this is a good pick. And we got the obligatory All Eyes on Me, Mobb Deep. It's like, I get it, brother. I understand. I get it. I mean, it's Pitchfork. I'm not surprised. But I remember it was a nigga in here when we were doing the list calling me pretentious for asking for some individuality in the list, because these lists begin to like become meaningless the more they have the same inclusions on every spot, like on every list. Go through Rolling Stone, you go through Complex, you go through a whole bunch of people lists. They got like top hip hop albums, 100 best hip hop albums. It's the same shit. Like, I get it. Don't get me wrong. These are all amazing. Nobody's gonna debate you on that. But like, just make it a little bit more personable. You know what I'm saying? Put me on. We didn't all grow up listening to the exact same records. All for the hip hop shit. Like, you talking to the wrong guy if you think I don't appreciate these picks. I do, but what's the point of them if they're all gonna mirror each other? But I'm pretentious for asking for some individuality because I want to hear more music, and I think it would be beneficial for the greater landscape of people who are and aren't familiar with hip hop to have options outside of the things that y'all have been listening to for the last 30 years. But I'm pretentious for that, I guess. I mean, I think it's fine. Like, if this were your top list authentically, ain't nothing wrong with that. But a music publication whose job it is to find hip hop records and to be ahead of the curve and to like listen to shit from current day and the past, having the basic same list that basically any other person could curate, it's like, bro, what the fuck is the point of you? This is the readers list? Oh, shit. You can't do this, though. Not back to back, bro. Come on. That's dick ride, bro. That's dick ride. That's dick ride. I get it, though, but that's dick ride, man. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Even Kendrick will cringe at that. Let's relax. Let's relax, man. Wu-Tang, Enter the Chambers. Oh, God. So we got Nas Illmatic on one for the readers, representing the people. And then we got Mobb Deep on the other hand for the writers. Never said it was over. No, I'm never saying that this is an overrated album. It's just, I just want to be put on. That's it. I just want to be put on. I'm tired of coming to these lists and knowing every pick. I am. And obviously, they're not going to make it for somebody that listens to hip-hop on a regular basis. But I still want to be introduced to some new shit. And that's the place that, you know what I'm saying, Pitchfork should be a breeding ground for. And I'm not going to overdo it and say, like, I can't check the best new music section and find an album in a category that I'm more familiar with or like and be like, oh, yeah, I would never be able to find something. You can. But when it comes to lists like that and when we got to, like, appreciate what, like, the genre has given throughout the years, there aren't enough years that are being represented and being showcased just to show people this was what was happening in this year. And they probably should have done that. Best hip hop album per year since the infancy of hip hop. I would have preferred a list like that as opposed to top 100 hip hop albums all time. I would have preferred that. You know what I'm saying? It's irrelevant to even make a list that's 100 spots long. But I do think it would be like considerably more challenging for publications and writers, content creators alike to make a list and it comprise of only your favorite 10 albums or your favorite 5 albums, because it'll reduce your people pleasing itch. not everybody's going to be able to be represented and included, and because of that, you're going to have to pick more records based off of a more unique standard, as opposed to, oh yeah, we all got to pick these particular ones. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'll just make people become a little bit more personal, I feel like, with their picks, and it'll probably showcase a bit more individuality, which may hopefully lead to some more unknown picks, and then people can get put on to each other's music and shit like that. That's what I would prefer. But you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna make a list just for fucking Nas and Mobb Deep to end up at my number
What's
3
your
spots, bro.
favorite?
I'm not saying that the albums don't have to be included. Like, I don't have a predisposition to new music simply because it's newer, and I don't have anything against the older music because it's older or anything like that. It's just more so such a severe disparity in the music that is being showcased in these lists, and it's not like accurately representing like the leaps and bounds that artists are making right now musically. It's just in such service to this like hip hop purist mindset, to a point where we're kind of removing ourselves from what's currently happening in the same space that you're trying to appreciate. We're not appreciating. The list isn't top 100 albums and like over half of it is albums from 20 plus years ago. Like, even if you don't like the music that's coming out right now, you have to acknowledge it, is all I'm saying. That's really it. I need it to be acknowledged so that it can be accessible easier. Not an album from, and no disrespect, not albums and music from niggas, some of which are dead and some of who aren't even making music and some of who haven't reached that level of artistic prime in years, or maybe since the album that they're referencing on the list. Like, we gotta still include what's happening right now, is all I'm saying. You're not wrong. I'm kind of in that in-between age where I feel like I've had enough life experience to have lived with a lot of the albums that I've talked about I think are great. And then I'm still like young enough to still like appreciate some of what's coming out now, and still want to see my timeline represented in a lot of the publications that I'm reading about. I'm not in service to this old nigga shit the whole time. And again, there's nothing wrong with that though. You should have some old shit in your list. You should appreciate what's come before you, but like not to not acknowledge what's happening around you right now, bro. See, the same problem I have with this list for Pitchfork and hip hop is the same problem that I think people would have with me if I had to make an R&B record or an R&B list, because I almost defaulted to Marvin Gaye. I'm not even trolling. I thought about it and I was like, you know what's going on sound good right now, but I can't do that. I could say Daniel Caesar. I'm not saying it don't count, but it's a massive hypocritical thing. It's massively hypocritical to say. But it's not in the sense that R&B right now is not in the place that hip hop is right now. Hip hop is still being like super creative and they're still making leaps, I feel like. R&B right now, mainstream and unknown, oftentimes has not been moving the needle for me. So it's not abnormal for me to go back to the old days, but still, there are more recent records than fucking Marvin Gaye, obviously. I think I think it's just because I have R&B fatigue. So I rather than like beat my face into a wall trying to get new music, I'd rather not beat my head against the wall trying to see what the fuck new comes out if nothing in the genre has been impressing me. So I usually take a break from it, come back with a fresh, more open-minded mindset, and then I'm like locked back in. With hip hop, I feel like I don't need to do that because it's always an album, you know, it's always a hip hop record that I'm like, okay, this is from a new artist. I can hear this, I can hear this, I can hear that.